We are live with ZDIORX, that's spelled ZDIORX, all caps. But listen up when he's talking because there is no cap. All right, welcome to CHH Hysteria. I am your host, Cole.
I'm your co-host, Cooper.
Thank you for coming on, bro.
Dude, of course. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, it's been a bit. I mean, we've been trying to do this, so I'm excited that we
hmm
actually have gotten a chance to do it. So yeah, before we go in too deep into the questions, I just want to give you a bit to introduce yourself, say whatever you want to say for people that
hmm
might not know who you are or might not be too
Of
familiar with
course.
you.
Yeah, so I'm ZDIORX. I'm 18 years old, just out of high school, literally just graduated in June. I am from Sacramento, California. Shout out NorCal. And yeah, man, that's just kind of a little bit about me. I make rap, hip hop, making some pop right now, just doing a whole bunch of different genres that I've been working on. So I like to consider myself an artist and not just a rapper.
Hey, you heard that he's an artist, not just a rapper. Be sure to respect that. um, So yeah, so you consider yourself an artist, like you said. So what do you want to accomplish with your career? Like, what are some of your like long term goals? You know?
Yeah, so I've only been saved. I've only been a Christian for 3 years. I've been in the like CHH bubble of music for like 2 years. And even before I was saved, I was making music. It wasn't as good. It was honestly just trash. But my goal has always been with that, just throwing out encouragement and letting people they're not alone. So then when I got saved, that kind of that message continued, but also it got tied in with, hey, like, I want to encourage you, I want to love on you because Jesus loves you and because Jesus died for you and cared about you so much that he carried a cross for you.
Yeah, I love how like it's interesting that your mission before you were saved was very similar to what it's after. Like
Mm-hmm.
it tied in super well. That's super
Mm-hmm.
interesting. You don't hear that too often. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like so that's super unique. And that kind of goes into the next question of like through time going through different things and like just
Mm-hmm.
the music industry really this these are all things that can really change people, but like what are some of your values that you have now or that when you started out with that you don't want that you want to keep no matter how far you make it in life, no matter how big you get as an artist, like what are some of those?
Yeah, I'd say like a good like value that I've kept through my music and getting saved is like creating positive and encouraging music, like and opening up about struggling and opening up about our struggles. Um, Even as Christians, we're not perfect. We go through things. We go through depression, anxiety, fear, mental health struggles, physical struggles, and just being open about like my life specifically and being like, hey, like I was addicted to drugs or I was depressed or I grew up in a broken home and just continuing to be open in that and encouraging people through that.
So, when did you actually like start rapping, and then when did you find out that this is something that you want to pursue?
Yeah, so it's funny to me now, but I actually like found out that I could freestyle because me and my bros at the time we would always go to our friend's house and we'd sit in a garage and we would all just smoke pot. And while we were high, we'd start freestyling. And so one time somebody was like, "Hey, dude, you're actually pretty good at this. Like you should try and pursue it." And I laughed it off and was like, "Yeah, you're funny. Like not for me. Like it's just something I do whenever I'm high. Like I'm good." And then people kept bringing it up to me, and I was like, you know what? Fine, like I'll give it a chance. Didn't know anything about music, didn't know what mixing and mastering was, didn't know about good quality equipment, didn't know how to write a song, had to learn everything from scratch. And so I started out there, and to see like where God has taken me and progressed me um, has changed so much, that passion hasn't gone away. That passion has stayed with me through this whole time of music. But God has just um, taken a passion and turned it into a calling. And that's what I always tell people is my passions have lined up with my calling. And so I've just continued to do it, but I'm doing it for a purpose now and doing it for something higher than me.
So then through this time, how has music how has making music helped you grown spiritually?
Yeah, that's an amazing question. I think that allowing myself to just kind of vent, and kind of like some people journal, some people like do voice messages and they record like their thoughts or they put them down. Like for me, a big part of like being on a track or recording music is this is me like kind of talking to God. It's almost kind of sometimes a prayer for me of like my time with God and communicating with them. And there's sometimes I'll record a song and I probably won't release it, but like I can think of this one song where I was just angry and I was just upset and I was just kind of like, God, like why? What are you doing? And it's used my way to vent and um also I think another aspect is meeting the people that I've met through music. Shout out to Danny Dripstar, one of my best friends. We literally live thousands of miles away. He's in Kansas City, Missouri. I'm in California. And we talk almost every day. We FaceTime almost every night and just like chop it up and talk about, hey, like what are we going on? What's going on in our life spiritually? And we talk about apologetics, theological arguments, stuff like that, just like really to grow us and sharpen us spiritually. The Bible says iron sharpens iron. So God's given me a community to do that through music.
But no,
Yeah.
that's super dope. I'm just curious. So you said you would sometimes like record music and then not release it. How many tracks have you think you've like written and recorded and not released?
So I know this. There's 18. No, that's more now. There's about 25 tracks completely done that will be released at some point. I think there's about 30 to 40 that I was just like, no, it's not good enough. Or like, it's just kind of not like for everyone. Like, it's kind of for me. So
So
there's
is that
definitely
30
like,
to ooh, is that 30 to 40? Is that an extra 30 to 40 or like
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
wow. Okay,
So there's
continue.
like 25 tracks that I have sitting on a hard drive that are going to be released. And there's about like 30 to 40 that are just like didn't make the cut or I don't feel like are good enough or like we're just like songs where I was venting.
Dang, 30 to 40 extra ones. That's crazy. I did not expect that. I was expecting like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Man, I'm always working.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, so like it's really important to have that person to talk about that stuff. And it's always good to help yourself with music and stuff like that, like I said.
Mhm,
So what are some goals, whether musically or personal goals
mhm.
that you are hoping to accomplish within like next 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, I'm gonna start personally. I think personally, like I'm just fresh out of high school, like literally graduated not even a week ago. 4 days ago was my graduation day when I walked the stage, got my diploma. I think one of my goals personally is to a lot of people don't know this about me that are like in the CHH bubble, but pursue pastoral ministries and pursue a degree in theology and get my pastoral's degree. That's something that's been on my life for a while outside of the music. Like that is something I want to do, and I think it ties into the music. I think it is something that I want to pursue, and God has put on my life. I don't know when, but at some point down the road in the near future, um, I think that's definitely one of my goals. Another one of my goals is to help a church plant down in South Lake Tahoe. Um, Getting down there and just pursuing that. Uh, I think music wise, one of my goals is I'd really love to do full time music. I'd really love to that be like my main finances and be able to travel and be able to do all that. Specifically, this summer, I want to travel. I want to go to specifically Atlanta, SoCal, and Texas, and then also Portland, Oregon, which is basically my second home, and set up shows and do some shows there. Also work with some of the artists down there, like in Texas, 350. LA, I'm hoping to work with Joey Vontes if the Lord allows it. And just getting around, meeting people, connecting, networking. And yeah, I think those are a few of my personal and music goals.
Hey, be sure to stop close to Iowa next time.
Hey,
You already
we're
know.
gonna make it happen.
For real.
Rude. So yeah, so it's super important to um have those goals, and that's like those are quite a few really big goals, but I think you can probably make them. Um, so out of those goals that you just said, which ones are you working on like the most right now, or seems the most
Mhm.
prominent?
Definitely, music wise, definitely the traveling aspect and getting around. I have a show July 30th in LA with Caleb Tucker. And then Atlanta is also on the schedule for July. I don't know if that's going to happen just because of finances and work. But I was actually invited out to the Rapzilla thing that they're doing, like the EP thing. Shout out Mark Stevie for throwing out an invite and saying that can happen. So I'm going to try and get there. The other one for personal is pursuing that theology and pastoral degree. That's definitely up next on the agenda. I don't know when that's going to be, whenever God tells me to, but I'm super excited for that because it's something that I'm passionate about is theology and the Bible. I think every Christian should be passionate about the Bible, but specifically theology and apologetics is something that I'm very passionate about.
So, are you going to college? So you just graduated. Are you planning on going to college next semester, or are you just kind of waiting it off for a bit to see when?
Yeah. So I was enrolled in a college, but I was committed, and then I backed out because I was like, you know what? I kind of got cold feet, and was like, I don't know. So right now, I'm kind of waiting on the Lord to answer some prayers. And kind of give me the, hey, I want you to stick around, or I want you to go do music, or I want you to go to college right now. I'm kind of waiting on that. So right now, I don't know. I'm just kind of waiting on the Lord.
So what does your creative process look like then?
It looks so different every time. It looks so different every time. I think usually it's like Gabe the Homie or Wow Eli, or who else am I working with right now? I cannot think. Jesse Calentine or some beat maker, Prod by Calm. Like they'll send me beat packs, and I'm very picky about my beats. Like I can like one beat out of one pack, and then all of them are just like, they're not trash, but they're not for me. And so I have to find that specific one, and once I found it, like I'll hone in on it. And what I do, like most people nowadays, they just like they turn their mic on and they do the melody in their mic and then they fill it in. I just don't work like that, which is really weird because everyone works like that now. I like will sit there and like will write out the lyrics like to the whole song, and then I'll have the whole song done, and then I'll record it without the melody in there, without anything in there. Like I'll just sit there and think about it and think about it, and then just boom, it'll be there. I'll record it. I'll usually send it to a few of my friends who aren't like that technical in the music world, and then I'll send it to some of my artist friends. Be like, hey, like, what do you like? What don't you like? Go back. Once they've given me some critiques, change it up a little bit. I usually send it to like Mark Stevens, Mission, Danny, and then just a few of my friends. Go back, take their advice, kind of change it up a little bit. Sometimes I won't because I'm like, I want to keep that. And then send it off to be mixed by Gabe the Homie of LLC Flame. We'll work it out. We'll usually kind of get on a FaceTime, or he'll just do it and send it to me and be like, what do you want changed? And we'll go from there. And then usually I'll have a whole song done by then.
Nice. Yeah, so I think that creative process is super unique, kind of what you said. So what are you trying to do to make yourself seem like more unique in like the music space, or like make yourself stand out? Like what are some of the things you're trying, whether musically, lyrically, or even behind the scenes?
Yeah. I was actually just on the phone today with a buddy of mine. We were talking about that. We're like, well, what makes ZDIORX, and what makes me stand out? I think a very specific thing that I do is like when I do my promotions for my songs, I don't just like, oh, here's a song, drops this day. Like we try to, the whole team that I got behind me, we try to cultivate something and we try to make something. So for example, when we dropped At the Party, we had this whole thing of like, what was it? I just had it. Wow, I just had it. We did this whole promo, and it was like, well, Dior flew to, or no, wait, we drove. Oh my gosh, it's been so long. That song's been out for almost a year. We had this whole thing where me and my bro Drew, we went on a road trip to meet up with Rich Tyler for the music video in Oregon from California. and we got lost. We got lost. And so we ended up in Nevada or Utah, and we're like, yo, like, y'all, we need your help to get to Washington. Like, we can't get a hold of Rich Tyler and stuff like that. When we dropped Sideshow was a little different because Danny Riguez is in South Korea right now. He is in the Army serving. So thank you to him for serving. But like with running, we just had fun with it. Like we were just like, hey, like guys, have fun with your friends. And the whole music video was shot on an iPhone. And we went out to the mountains and just shot this super fun video. And so I think specifically, I try to be super unique with my promos. When it comes to the music, I think I'm trying to carve my own lane and trying to be myself. I'm very open about like my story and what I've been through. As with a broken home and my dad not being in the picture, with drugs and talking about like my struggle with Xanax. I'm trying to be very open in the music of like, hey, like we're gonna struggle. Like your struggle is okay. Like it's understandable, and I'm just here to encourage you and be like, yo, like we all are gonna struggle with different things. We all go through stuff. And I think that's where the difference is, because there's nothing wrong with this. I think it has a place in CHH where it's like, you know, super encouraging, godly music, which is needed. But I'm trying to be almost kind of the opposite. I'm trying to be real, like just be like, yo, like let's talk about life. Like let's be real, like this is life, but still have that encouraging part of like, yo, God is good and God loves you so much and so dearly. And just like embrace that part as well.
Yeah, I think being transparent in your music is always a really good thing, and it's always like it always makes me like the songs more is when they're more transparent and stuff. And a lot of times, like the favorite songs on like albums are like the more slow or like sad ones, you know. So yeah, kind of going into just kind of like other stuff. Before you retire, who are some people that you would want to collab with? Whether that's like, it doesn't have to be CHH, it can be really anything.
Yeah. So I feel like saying this, and I don't know if I'm supposed to, but I'm gonna say it. One of them was Torey D'Shaun, and bro hit me up. Like it wasn't like I hit him up. He hit me up, which was like humbling and honoring. And was like, yo, bro, you're hard. Like, I want to do a song. So this is like the first official me saying this. There's a song with me and Torey D'Shaun. I think some people in CHH I really would love to work with. Another one is Holvey, which that I can't talk about that. But Holvey, I want to work with few. Miles Minnick and I have one. That's like big bro. I love that man. Joey Vontes, really want to work with him. And Mikey J, really want to work with Mikey J, Scotty Wap, all of them. Some people outside of CHH, I have a friend who's like with Internet Money. His name's Tux. So I really want to work with him, really want to work with Internet Money. I just feel like that'd be a super sick collab to do. Also want to work with the Kid Leroy. That would just be sick. That's definitely up there. Also Kendrick Lamar, just for the West, man. I would love to work with Kendrick Lamar. But those are just a few.
Bro, you heard it. CHH Hysteria exclusive Torey X ZDIORX. That's good, bro. That's exciting. And I mean, who doesn't want to work with Kendrick, right?
Seriously, dude, who wouldn't?
But bro, you just dropped "Whoa" with Rob B, which was really good, and I love the feature. But what are some of your music plans for the rest of the year? You know, you don't have to give away too much, but a little sneak peek.
Yeah. So you already know, Song with Torey's coming out this year. What else? I've been kind of meddling in different genres. So I got a hyperpop song coming out. I think it's next month. I gotta double check that, but I believe that's July it's coming out. Just like doing stuff like that, doing a lot of music videos. Like I said, like trying to tour, a lot of features. But yeah, man, some collabs. I'm not gonna say who, but some collabs on the way. Just a lot of music is coming. I've kind of had like a slow 2021, but there's a reason for that. So the wait is almost over. The flood is coming.
Man, you said like 25 to 30 songs were done, so I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot. I don't even know how many weeks we got left in 2021.
No, seriously.
That's crazy. I'm excited for all this stuff that you got dropping, bro. So before we go, I just want to ask you a little bit about Whoa, since you just dropped that last week, right? Or was that 2 weeks ago? So
I think it
what
was.
it? It wasn't too long ago.
No, it was.
Yeah, just want to tell us a little bit about that song, you know, like what it's talking about, maybe like the story behind it, how you got in contact with Rob B, kind of all that stuff, you know?
Yeah, of course. So, what was a process? Oh my gosh, this one brought me so much stress. But it all worked out in the end. So in August, last August, on the week of my birthday, I flew out to Portland because I have some family in Portland, and I was going to see them. And Liddy Benji found out that I was there, and him and I are super good friends. And he was like, "Yo, bro, like, you trying to come to the studio?" And I was like, "Yeah, bro. Like, am I an idiot? Yeah, of course." So got in the studio with him, and I'm trying to find beats. I'm on my laptop, and I was like, you know what? Scooty Wop just dropped a whole bunch of beats. Why don't we check there? I go to Scooty Wop's Beat Stars. I'm looking through it, and this one with Meg the Stallion was on it, and I skipped it because I was like, nope, we're not doing that. I don't want to Meg the Stallion type beat. So I'm still looking. Got to the end, there was nothing. I was like, you know what? Fine. Click the Meg the Stallion beat, and it was the Whoa beat. And I was like, yo, this is really the one. Like, we started bopping, we started freestyling. I was like, this is the one. So we got the beat, bought the lease, and Benji just goes, hey, bro, let me do the hook. And I was like, oh, bet. Doing my nails go with you with the whoa, does the hook just like that. And I'm like, okay. So I only have 30 minutes before I got to go home. And I was like, bro, I don't know if I'm going to have time to write this verse. He goes, bro, just do it. Just write it. You'll be good. I write the whole verse 10, 15 minutes tops because I'm rushed. So I write the verse and I record it. And he goes, bro, like, this is your hardest verse. This is super good. And I don't really like at that point, I was starting to lean back from trap and do more melodic stuff. So I was like, I don't know. And I don't know. Got it done, got it out of the way. And then he was like, hey, bro, like, let's put Rob B on this. And I was like, bet, I can't afford his feature price. He goes, oh, don't worry. Like, Rob B's like a friend. They actually have a song called Good Night by Rob B and Liddy Benji. So he calls Robbie down in Atlanta. And he's like, yo, bro, like, could you do this feature for Z and I? And he was like, of course. So I think about 2-3 months later, I got the verse back, sent it to get mixed. It gets mixed. And I was just sitting on it because I really wanted to do a video for it, but it really wasn't realistic for me to do so because Benji's in Portland in a state above me. Then Rob B's half across the world in Atlanta. So they wasn't really realistic. So I sat on the song for a while, just like hoping that it would happen. And it never happened. Maybe in the future it could happen. And so finally was like, you know what? I'm dropping it. The people have been waiting for too long. Literally, like, I hit up Ghosty, he makes music too, but he also does graphic design. I was like, hey, bro, like, I'm kind of in a rush. Could you get this done in a week? Sent him the money. He gave me the fire cover art. That cover art is insane. Within like a day or two, uploaded it, dropped it, and now we're here. It's one of my favorite songs I've gotten to work on in the past that I was super excited to share it. I was just waiting on that timing and waiting to see if the music video could happen.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's cool. Yeah, that sounds like that's super dope. I like that. I like that story, that process. You said it was one of your favorite songs you've recorded. What would you say your favorite song you have recorded is? Or could you not even pick one?
My favorite song I've recorded.
Or worked on, whatever.
Okay. I think favorite song that I've recorded is definitely like my hyperpop one. It was super unique, super different. I think that's why it was like my favorite is it was so out there and so different from anything I've done before. I think my songs that are out though, probably Till the End. That one has a crazy story. I went to LA didn't even realize Danny Riguez was 20 minutes down the road from me. And I'm supposed to do this studio session with LLC Flame. And I call him and I'm like, hey, bro, like, don't you live in Long Beach? And he goes, yeah. And I was like, I'm in Long Beach. And we drove to Loma Linda, which was 2 hours away, met up with LLC and made till the end.
Yeah, LLC, but not LLC. Till the End, I think is probably my favorite song by you. So that's cool. So far at least. But before I go, we just have two more questions for you. The first one is, are there any questions that you would have asked that we did not ask you that you would like to?
Ooh, let me think. No, I think we covered mostly everything.
Hey, nice, nice.
So we like to do like a little bit of a sillier question at the end.
Okay.
What the heck not? So, how many chickens would it, like full-grown chickens, would it
Okay.
take to kill an elephant?
You have to
And
defend
explain
your
your answer.
answer.
Full-grown chickens.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Dang, elephants are huge. I'm gonna go with 7.
7.
Yep,
Why?
What's-
that's my lucky number.
That's your lucky number? I can see that.
7. I always say 7 for everything.
7 for everything.
I think
What about
they
like
got
7
it. 7
times
chickens?
7? Like 49, you know?
That may work. I don't know. I think
may
7
work.
would be fine though.
All right, all right. Cooper,
Yeah.
what do you think?
Like, I'm thinking 700, man. Like, the only way
700?
they could, yeah.
It could.
No way. The elephant's just gonna stomp on them.
I
Bro.
got faith that 7 could do the job. They just peck at its feet.
Yeah, I think I'm
Look at
more with
its
Z
eyes.
here, bro. Like, we had a rooster once that was the most aggressive thing in the world. Like,
Dude.
I think that one rooster could beat an elephant, like no problem.
Dude, they're
That
they're
thing is
aggressive.
scary.
So you got a
That's
point
true.
there.
Yeah, bro. Cooper, you going crazy. But you heard it from the man. 7 chickens to beat an elephant. Be sure to leave a comment about what you think about Z, about what you think about chickens, all that stuff. And be sure to subscribe and follow Z on socials. Is that just at ZDIORX?
Yep. Just
All
at
right.
ZDIORX.
Bet I will be adding that in the description, as well as check out his music. I'll also add that in the description. Until next time.